So here it is now, a year and a half later, with the Kia Sedona, and this is the SXL model. If you haven't watched the reviews of this van from day one, and I said I would come back and I would keep you updated on this van and basically let you know what I like and what I don't like about it, the problems that I have with this van ongoing years later. So, you know, this is quite a big investment for people, families out there that's looking to buy a van, and they basically want to purchase something that you know, they're going to get the bang for their buck. So basically, you know, here it is, you know, a little over a year with this van, and I've had some problems with this van. They've been very minor, and if you watch my previous videos, I've had a problem with the doors. You know, they've been acting kind of funky, but I think it was due to the fact that, you know, when just operating them doors and you know, opening and closing all the time, they're going to act weird sometimes. So it wasn't really that much of a big deal. I've had the door open up in the wintertime. I don't know how, maybe the key got hit or something, the door opened up. But other than that, you know, I've caught it. Thank God there was no snowstorm, because I would have been pissed. The other problem I have with this van, and that would be the brakes on this van. I find that the brakes on this van wear much quicker in the front than, I don't know, from other vehicles I've owned. Day one from this vehicle, I've noticed a smell. I thought it was the undercoating that I put on the vehicle, so, you know, I was being misled from the undercoating. I really didn't think too much of it. The wife would say, you know, the brakes stink, and, you know, thinking that, you know, I just undercoated the vehicle, maybe that's the problem. But no, it wasn't. It was the brakes. They do wear. The front rotors. I find the front rotors in this van cannot take, you know, a really good long period of braking. You know, if you hit them brakes really hard, if you really need to, coming down a, you know, a hill and you have your brakes on and you're following somebody that wants to do, you know, 40 kilometers an hour down a hill, you know, in grade, down a hill, you know, it's pain in the ass. So you do feel that the warp, you know, the brakes are getting hot, and you know, the front rotors are warping a little bit, and you will feel that every once in a while in this van. That would be the only other issue I have so far. Now, I've looked at the brakes. The pads don't seem to be wearing. It's just the rotors itself. When I do a brake job on this, they will get very good rotors on it. I will not go with just you know, a cheap rotor. I'll put a good rotor on this van. Now, as you can see here, I am down at the lake. It's beautiful down here, especially in the fall time. I love it. It's a beautiful place. So, what else I have about this van that I could talk to you about would be the exhaust on it. This would be another issue that I have. I've noticed, I've actually had my friends bring to my attention, you know, I park on their lawn and they notice a big brown spot underneath my vehicle. So don't park this van in any tall grass or, you know, somewhere where it's dry. You're going to come back, you're not going to have a van, because it will catch it on fire. It sits pretty low. The exhaust is down there a little bit, and it gets hot. If you watch my review or the video of the oil change of this vehicle, you will see when I'm underneath the vehicle, which I've never ever noticed until after they brought to my attention that I was leaving brown marks on their lawn parking. But you go back and watch that video, you'll see the exhaust on this vehicle, and you'll see the discoloration of it, and see actually how hot this vehicle, the exhaust gets. You'll smell it. You know, just if you pass somebody and you get on the road and you park and you can smell the exhaust on it, it gets extremely hot. Now, I know that there was problems with the certain models of vehicles that Kia put out. They were catching fire. Now, I don't know if that was one of the reasons why it was catching fire, but I will admit that this van, the exhaust on it, it gets extremely hot. So be careful where you're parking your vehicles, you guys. Other than that, I really haven't had any issues with this vehicle. Wintertime, it handles the road really well. You buy some really good winter tires. It's not an all-wheel drive, it's a front-wheel drive. Buy yourself a good set of studded tires with this vehicle. You won't regret it. If you just go an all-season on this vehicle, it's a front-wheel drive, you're going to have different handling with the vehicle. So I recommend you going with studded tires all the way around this vehicle. Now, light bulbs for the van, I noticed that the fog lights, I don't know if it was an issue of where the light goes up into the socket and turns and seals, but I do know that there was some water in there. I cleaned it out. I had a little bit of issue with water getting in there. I think that's what blew the bulb, but other than that, I replaced the bulbs with LEDs, or I guess you call them HIDs, and much better. They work good, they're a little brighter, and you don't have to worry about any water or moisture getting at them because they're pretty much sealed. But other than that, with the headlights, they're bright. I love how bright they are. I love the auto dimming lights, works good. I still find myself going down to hit the to dim my lights. It's a habit. So other than that, they work good. What else could I say about the vehicle? Gas mileage. This van is, how do I put it? In the wintertime, it's a pig on fuel. And with any other vehicle out there today, every vehicle in the winter gets to be a pig on fuel. But this one exceptionally is more than a pig on fuel in the wintertime. Summertime, it's really good on fuel. It seems to work pretty good. I've noticed a little bit of fluctuation in fuel mileage when I replaced the air filter. That was the only time I really noticed any difference. Now, the air filter in this vehicle, you can purchase them on eBay for 25 bucks, and there's nothing wrong with them. The only problem I had with the air filter in this one was just the way it locked in. The filter goes into the little pouch and it locks in. Well, this one's a little different. It doesn't turn the lock, it pulls out the lock, so you can't lock the filter in, but you close the cover down and it ain't going to move anyway. But you can purchase filters on there from $25 up to 60 bucks. But I purchased my filter online, and I love the filter. It works good. 1 year having to replace the filter in this, and really the filter wasn't even that dirty, considering that where we live is dusty. In the wintertime they dump the sand on the roads. Just in front of my house you probably get enough sand to fill a dump truck. So considering driving on these roads that I'm at, and the dust and how much dust there is, that filter wasn't that bad, you guys. Actually, it was dirty for 1 year. Considering 1 year changing your filter, it wasn't too bad. All power doors and the rear door seems to work fairly decent. No problems with them. The kids love them. The kids love the technology of the rear sliding doors, and the wife loves the technology of the the back door opens up for you when you get your door. When your vehicle's locked and you're in the parking lot and you come up to your vehicle and you get the key in your pocket, it's getting ready to open up for you. It'll beep and tell you, okay, the rear door's starting to open up. It'll alert you. So that feature there works good. I love that feature, especially when you have kids. You just pull on the handle right there or push the key fob button to open the door before you get there. It works really good. Handling of this vehicle, I would say going down the highway and you're passing a transport. I find the vehicle doesn't handle wind as good as other vehicles I've been in. It can be quite tricky. I don't know if you guys out there that has a Kia Sedona, you know what I'm talking about, but when you pass the transport, you'll feel it in your steering, and it wants to, it wants to be all over the road. So be careful if you're in a windstorm or something like that. Lower your speed. you adjust your driving accordingly to your weather, or what the situation you are in. But I will say that this vehicle doesn't like a wind turbulence passing a transport. Basically, you feel it. Now, what else can I touch you base on here? I've never had a problem with the sunroofs leaking, nothing like that. The only problem I've had in this vehicle was, keeping it clean. Coming, you got 4 kids, and it's hard to keep a vehicle clean. So here it is, the vehicle. I keep my vehicles very clean. I take care of all my vehicles. Keep them looking good. The seats all look good. You spend a lot of money in a vehicle. You want to keep your vehicle looking good. So you just pull on the handle there a little bit, and the door will open up. I have the all WeatherTech mats in this vehicle, and they are a pain in the ass to keep clean. You buy yourself some of that vinyl cleaner, Black Magic or whatever, and pull them out and wash them down and spray them with that stuff. It makes them look really good. Yes, they get a little slippery for the first little bit, but other than that, it's well worth it. The rug, it saves on your rug big time. This rug looks just like brand new. The only thing I don't like about is dirt that gets down in the track. You get a vacuum cleaner, you can get in there and suck out any dirt or stuff that gets down in there. As you can see, let me get closer here. You see there's some dirt in there. You can never get in there to get it cleaned out. That's the only thing I don't like. I'm not sure if you can take this all off and pull the rubbers off and get in there and clean it. If I was going to sell this vehicle and I wanted it to look really good, I'd probably look more into it, but you probably can. I'm not sure. But here's the back. They replaced the seats. I had a problem. You can see the leather there a little bit. It looks kind of funky on this seat, but that'll probably work out in time. They're brand new back seats because I had an issue with the foam underneath was, kind of had an indent on it, and you never could get rid of it. So they replaced the back seats for me. That was the only thing I've had done to this vehicle. No mechanical issues or nothing like that. So it has brand new back seats. I don't know, in my previous video I mentioned it. I think I might have showed you, but the vehicle is very clean. I take care of it. I clean it. I clean and wash the leather, and I do recommend use water on your leather. I don't care what kind of cleaning chemicals they get out there. And I do have a leather cleaner that you can use, and I would go very lightly with it. It probably will help, fading with it, but in the back of your vehicle you get tinted windows, so you don't have to worry about fading. So soap, a little bit of soap and water to wash these down, and I lightly use some leather cleaner on your vehicle, on your seats, but other than that I wouldn't go crazy on it. Keeping these little traps and stuff cleaned out is a must, especially when it's expensive and it's got these automatic door openers and stuff like that on it. You want to keep these oiled up and keep them working very good. I don't pay too much attention to detail in there for cleaning. I usually do wipe down here a little bit, but the track, you might want to wipe a little bit just so it looks somewhat decent. But other than that, keep them, cleaned up and greased like they should be. And they slide back and forth, as you can see. Push the button and they close up pretty good. The only time I've noticed a problem with these rear sliding doors, if you're on a little bit of a slope, or you're on a hill and the vehicle's kind of parked on an angle, they will sound like they're buying a little bit. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but that would be the only other issue. But it's nothing big. They always open and they always close. I had this vehicle warranted for the length of the payments, so I don't have to do any cost repair to fix this vehicle. It's going to get fixed without me having to dump money into it while I'm making payments. So that's a bonus. If you're going to buy a vehicle, especially with this much electronics on it and technology they have, rear sliding doors and power, everything, I recommend you to put the extra warranty on them. I mean, even if you don't use it, it was there. You can say I didn't have to fix it. But right now, this vehicle, I've never had to put anything in this vehicle. I use full synthetic oil in this van. Now, this other issue I have, when you first start the van up, and it sounds like the lifters are a little bit loud, I think that might be because of the full synthetic. You know, it runs down and it's not completely up into the lifters. Excuse me. I would probably recommend using Lucas, they call it a treatment that basically will coat all your lifters and stuff. But when you first start up, like I said, the lifters sound a little bit loud, but it goes right away as soon as the oil hits the top of the engine. So that's the only other problem I hear with the engine. It works good. It has a lot of power. It gets up and goes. You don't have a problem passing vehicles or nothing like that, or climbing hills. It has a very good amount of power for the size engine. It's in I think it's a 3.3. So small motor, big vehicle, but it doesn't seem to be sluggish or anything like that. If you plan on going up a lot of in-grades, climbing hills and stuff like that, and you're out in the mountains or something like that on back roads, you might want to turn that ECO fuel saving thing off. That way you can get your full power benefit, and it's not as bad. But other than that, you guys, I love the vehicle. It works really good. I've never had any problems with it, other than the little things that I've mentioned to you, the brakes and stuff like that. But that stuff can be always replaced with something better. Tires that comes on these vehicles, everybody knows that they're not the best. They're, I probably would say 30,000 kilometer tire on these Tread Life. Right now I have probably 23,000 kilometers on this vehicle, and if you look at the tires, they're probably I'm going to be looking for a new set next year, so we'll look at them. As you can see that the tread is getting down there quite a bit, and they're only a 2-ply tire, and they are a very cheap tire. When you purchase your new tires, you're going to spend what you like, and you can get 60,000 or 80,000 kilometer guaranteed tires. So it all depends on how much you drive and what you drive on, what eats your tires up. You drive on a lot of let's say crushed rock and stuff like that, like this stuff here, it's hard on your tires. Chip seal roads will eat your tires up, and there's a lot of chip seal roads around here, so that could be some of the issue of the tire wear, but I doubt it. I had a truck before this, and it was the same way. Cheap tires. I replaced the tires on my Dodge Ram, and I never spin my vehicles. So replacing the tires was nothing to do with spinning. It was just because of cheap tires. When you buy a vehicle, they're not a very expensive tire. So what else can I say about this vehicle? I already touched bases on the fuel mileage and brake issue. I've never had any problem with the stereo in this vehicle. It sounds... Oh, no, I lied. I had a speaker that was making a little bit of noise on the passenger door. And I don't know if that was because of me having the bass up too loud on the stereo, but I doubt it. But the speaker in the door down there was making a little bit of a noise. They replaced the speaker. That was the only thing that was done. But other than that, never had a problem with the push start on this. It always starts up. One more thing I noticed too with the digital speed in the one over here. I find that the digital speed, it probably the most accurate when you got these two up and you see the difference in your speed. So when this is on 80 kilometers an hour, and you're doing 80 kilometers an hour down the highway, and then this one here will say I'm doing 75. So I noticed the difference. I don't know if it's calibration issue or is it the digital is more accurate. I don't know. It's something I haven't really looked into. You guys might know. You could probably let me know on that. Um, Cruise control works really good. I love the cruise control. I've only used it a few times, but I love the fact that you can set this on cruise. You get a vehicle in front of you, you're traveling down the highway, and you can set this vehicle to be like 4 or 5 car lengths behind it, and you set it, and basically they put their brakes on, this vehicle is applying the brakes as well. So it always keeps you that distance away from that vehicle that's in front of you, and also the vehicle that's behind you. I don't know if a lot of people notice that, if they have one of these, or watch reviews, or other people have made reviews on these vehicles, the distance between the front and the distance between the back. So if you got your vehicle set up and you're following the guy in front of you, which is the most important, this vehicle will apply the gas to keep the distance, or the brake, whatever it may be. Now behind you, if you have somebody that's on your ass, it will alert me, and basically I don't know, it's weird. If he's on my ass and we're traveling on the highway, I'll have a thing that's telling me, a collision is going to happen or something like that. A little square box will come up. Basically, the only situation you can do to fix that is, pass the guy in front of you, and get away from the guy, or let him pass. People coming up beside you when you're passing, and it will let you know that there's somebody passing. I love that feature. Pulling out of a parking lot, say you're at Walmart and you're pulling out and you can't quite see exactly if there's a car coming. Sometimes you might have a big vehicle beside you and a van on the other side, and you can't see. So when you're backing out, this vehicle knows that there's a vehicle coming, and it'll alert you that there's a vehicle coming, so you just basically wait, or gradually edge your way out to be able to see. I don't really rely on mechanical or technology too much. I like to be able to use my eyeballs just to make sure. But I love that feature. It lets me know there's a vehicle coming. Basically stop and wait. I love the feature oncoming traffic towards you, and they might be in your lane. This vehicle picks up that, you got a vehicle coming towards you, and he's somewhat on your side of the road. This will alert you and let you know, wake up, watch what you're doing. I love that feature. A vehicle's in front of you, and he's pulling in his driveway, he happens to hit his brakes, or maybe he don't even put his blinker on, and you get these people that likes to just blinker and brakes, or it's this opposite, brakes and then blinkers, and they're whipping her in. Well, this vehicle will alert you, hey, stop, this vehicle's slowing down quite quickly, and it alerts you and lets you know before a head-on collision will happen. I love the camera view on this. You got that 360 degree camera view. You can switch to different ones, whatever you want, whatever you like. You can get the full view, clear around. I didn't think this was the actual view. This is not the actual van. It's a picture of the van, but it shows all around you, and which I'll show you. I'll start driving, you can see it moving, as you can see, which is pretty awesome. I love that feature. I don't know if you guys can really see that very good, but we're driving out from the lake. So other than that, I've never, had a problem. The vehicle does handle pretty good. I've had a Dodge Caravan. I'll never, ever, ever buy a Dodge Caravan. The Pacifica, I've read a lot of reviews on the Pacifica. They say they're a good vehicle, but Dodge Caravans I don't like due to the fact that the motor that they have in them and the transmission. I've had a couple of Dodge Caravans and I've had nothing but problems, you guys. Transmissions falling out of them, or the lifters going on them, or there's always something wrong with the motors in them. This vehicle here, I've never had a problem with the transmission. I've never had a problem with the engine. So that's one reason why I've never went to a Dodge Caravan, town country, or whatever you want to call them they have out there today. I will never purchase one because of the engine and transmission. I laugh at people that say, oh God, there's nothing wrong with them, and they purchase a vehicle, and then, hey, a year later, they're down the road and they're saying, oh, I got a problem with the transmission, or I got a problem with the engine, or something, right? So, you try to warn them and let them know, but it's basically everybody's got to live and learn, right? We all live the hard way, learn the hard way, I should say, and that's the only way to go about it, I guess. I've done it since I was a kid. I've always learned the hard way, and everybody else is gonna have to do the same. So, but other than that, this vehicle, the kids love the AC power. They plug in their tablets and they watch their videos and do whatever. There's one in the front here, one in the console and back, and there's one in the very back. And you can buy a converter, plug into it, and it'll give you a couple extra adapters or plug-ins, whatever it may be. But it works good. Heating this van in the wintertime, this van was very warm. I didn't feel any cold air coming from the floor like I do the Dodge Caravan. That was cold. You had to constantly have the heat going in that Dodge Caravan just to keep warm. This one here, you turn the heat on and you're just like turn the heat down. So you stay very warm. Your feet don't get cold. Your legs don't get cold. It's very well insulated, but it seems the wife never ever says she's cold. So I've asked her. She says she feels no draft. There's no noise around the doors. Oh, the leaves are changing already. I don't want winter to come. Our summer has been very short. As you can see, lots of apple trees down around here where I live. Good hunting. I love the sunroof. It works good. Never had a problem. I don't really use that sunroof back there yet so much because I have a baby, and when you get it open and the sun gets in there right in her eyes and she's pointing that back direction, so I've kept that closed quite a bit this year. The year before, last summer, the kids had it open and used it quite a bit, but ever since the baby come, I haven't used it really. I've always kept it closed. Screen shades in this thing. That back screen shade I've had a problem with. I forgot to mention. It's like when it rolled up, it got wrinkled a little bit, and there's a crease in it. But other than that, it's staying together. It works. I thought that'd be the first thing to go in this van was the screen shades. And also, if you look, I have this one. If you can notice it or not, I have this one up for the baby, and they work pretty good. That's been up and stayed up ever since the baby's come into our new vehicle. So, but other than that, the screen shades are working very well, and they're not broken, falling apart like I thought they would be. Don't use them if you don't need them. That's the kind of guy I am. But the only problem I've had with this vehicle was, keeping it clean, and that's just an everyday use. This camera stays on when you're doing I think it goes off at 20 kilometers an hour. So I'll start doing 20 kilometers and it'll probably hit 20. Yep, as you can see, it hit 20 and it went off. So if you want to go back on and stay on, you hit that camera view button right there. You see, as you can see right there, you gotta turn it on. I love that feature right there for when you're driving through, McDonald's or Tim Hortons, or you got really tight space, like especially all new McDonald's. You barely have any room to drive in through there anymore. You get the curb. Well, this here helps you. You see your curb and not scuff your friggin' rims and stuff up. But heated mirrors, they all seem to work really good. They held out, worked really well. The heated windshield, that was worked really well. I've had the windshield break. I got a crack in the windshield, and take a guess, you guys, what it costs to replace the windshield in this vehicle. $1,300. And that I thought was quite ridiculous. I had to laugh when the insurance company called me and said, Corey, you know how much it costs to replace the windshield on that? And I'm like, yeah, probably $500. And they're like, no, $1,300. So I'm like, wow, I couldn't believe it. And I asked them why, and they're like, I don't know. So I called up and asked myself, and it's to do with the fact that you got to calibrate the cameras and stuff that's up in here, and basically they got to be calibrated. So don't know a whole lot about that, but I guess it takes about an hour to calibrate your cameras, and have them working like they should be. So here it is, you guys. I'm going in a half an hour video. I'm sorry. I hope you're not getting bored. I've made a video before of me just driving the van with the GoPro on, and I had a lot of backlash from people coming back, and I should have not put review on it, but I did put a link in the video saying the full review is here. Basically, we use that video as clickbait just so people would go and see it for different keywords. Excuse me, I did get some backlash on that, and I apologize to anybody that's watched it and said some nasty things, and I apologize. Power windows all seem to work good. The heated seats work very well. The wife loves them. I love them. Especially the cool seats, they work really good. You turn these on, you can hear the fan. Can you hear the fan, you guys? I'll turn them off and see you can notice the difference in the fan noise. So you can hear the fans when you turn them on. They're quite loud. Just the wind blowing in the seats. And they work really good. It's a must to have one of these cool seats in the summertime when you have leather, because they get all sticky and it's not very comfortable. It's not like cloth seats, so but when you turn these cool seats on and that's working, it's very comfortable. So the heated, like I said, the heated seats, they work really good. I've never had a problem with it. No, drive modes, I've never ever taken it really out of the matter of fact, it was off, but I've never ever taken it out of ECO. I've always kept it in the ECO. As you can see, I got 26,391 kilometers on this vehicle. So that's probably like around 19,000 miles or something like that. I might be wrong on that. God, I don't know. I'm not very smart. So anyway, I've never had a problem with the van, really. Just the little things that I've talked to you about. The stereo sounds really good. I can turn up. The van, the stereo, and the Infinity speakers and stuff all sounds really good. I've never had a problem with the sound. This sounds awesome. So power mirrors, everything works good. Steering, all the controls, everything seems to be working good. The buttons all work good. So you guys, please subscribe, share this video, and like it, please. I really do hope you guys do that. It helps me out, and it also helps other people out there that's looking to buy. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be making these videos. And I'm only doing this because of you guys. People out there that wants to buy this vehicle, and they want to know the truth about it and the problems that they have with them years down the road, even so. This is the only reason why I'm making another review, and it's a year or so down the road, and I want you to see how it's holding up, how it works, the gas mileage, how the motor runs, how the transmission works. Well, it's all good so far. So if I have a problem, I will list it. I will tell you about it. I'll make a video about it. So please subscribe, you guys. So if something happens, you will get an update on this in particular vehicle. So thanks for watching. Like I said, please rate and subscribe and share. I really love you guys coming and watching my videos. And like I said, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be making these videos. So thanks for watching, you guys. And if I missed something, you get any questions, please ask. And or if you want me to do a video on certain things, a guy asked me to do a video on an oil change. I did it. I quit. I was in a garage, so I couldn't talk about it. I just made a quick video. I threw a little music in there and did a video of the undercarriage of the vehicle. So you can go watch the oil change on this vehicle. It's pretty straightforward or easy to do. So click through my videos, you'll see actually maybe I'll post a video up here for you, the link, so you can go watch it. But thanks for watching, you guys. Later.